big name players were going to get involved with Flesh and Blood. I've been saying it for months, and you all thought I was talking about financial whales. I'm talking about people who care about the game and the content. Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name's Louie. Today we're going to welcome the professor into the Flesh and Blood community. If you don't know who the professor is, Tolarian Community College, the professor is an amazing content creator who creates Magic the Gathering content, has almost 600,000 subscribers, I believe. And he just put out a video yesterday where he was talking about, we're not going to just talk about the professor, and we're going to talk about what this means for Flesh and Blood, but to give you some context of this current video, he was talking about the new Magic the Gathering set, Strixhaven, right? And they didn't give him a promo card, and he gets to the number one card of the set or whatever, and he says, well, they didn't give me a promo card. I'm the professor. This is a set that's made in Wizards and Hogwarts, and it's a set that's made in a school, and you didn't give the professor a promo card. Like, Wizards just gave him like the biggest middle finger that you could possibly give to a content creator. They're such anyway, they give him the middle finger. They don't give him a promo card. He goes, but another game has a card coming out, and that is Flesh and Blood with a new set card coming out called Monarch, and he says, and I'm getting a spoiler card. It's freaking awesome. Like, I love it. Like, I just, like, every night I go to bed and I think about all the amazing things that Legend Story Studios has done in the past week. And then I think there's not possibly something good that can come tomorrow that they've done. And then all of a sudden something like this happens. And it's like Legend Story Studios just does this amazing thing that's just so smart. And so all of a sudden, like, what is this world that we live in? Like, the number one Magic the Gathering YouTube content creator doesn't have a promo for Magic. He doesn't have a promo for Magic the Gathering, but he has a... I'm not faking this. I can't get there. He has a promo for Flesh and Blood. Like, all right. Before I look at all these things. I had to make... Okay, before we get to it, I just want to say welcome to the professor. Dude, I hope you make so much content for Flesh and Blood. I hope you just keep making content for Magic and do your thing, but I hope that you find Flesh and Blood to be as rewarding of a game as I have found it. I hope you make content out like, you guys, like, this is gonna blow everything up. Like, you guys thought that the money side of things was going crazy. This is gonna bring so many players into our community. It's gonna be beautiful. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. And before you say, don't bring the Magic the Gathering drama to our community, we will set the tone right now that we will be welcoming to every single person that comes in to this community, to the Flesh and Blood community. And you know what? There is some drama in the Magic the Gathering community and whatever, but we can still set the tone. We can set the example for those people. Anyway, so I want to say welcome to the professor. I'm super excited, dude. I hope you would consider, like, being a part of the whole, like, the younger YouTube, like the Flesh and Blood content creators that are going on that don't have 600,000 subscribers. This is a public invitation. I don't know if you have time for me, but if you would like to be a part of the channel, public invitation, anytime you want, I will make it in my schedule. But I do want to talk about this. So if everyone's like, Rudy's pushed the game so hard, it's awesome, and he has. Like, Rudy has pushed Flesh and Blood immensely. Like, well, a lot of us, many of us, myself, like, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Rudy pushing the game. Like, I totally believe that. I totally believe a lot of the American Flesh and Blood culture comes from Rudy. But if Rudy can do what Flesh and Blood did financially, like, Rudy is a finance channel, Alpha Investments, blah, blah, blah. If Rudy can do that, what he did for the finances of Flesh and Blood, Tolarian Community College can do to the players of Flesh and Blood, into the game, like the gameplay and the really the design and the excitement and the logic. And, like, that's what I'm super, super, super excited about, is that really we have these two, like, polar opposites that live in harmony with one another. and the pumping and the excitement of the financials can kind of take place, and also the gameplay, and more people can have that content too. And this channel has really strived to do kind of both. We are obviously very heavy on the financial side, but then I try to do gameplay videos, I try to do that other stuff. So I think it's really good for the community to have these two large content creators in the Magic the Gathering sphere, both pushing this content. It's not just about money, it's also about gameplay. So I'm super excited about that. And what Rudy did for the financials, Tolarian Community College can do for the gameplay and for that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited that. But here's, I wanted to talk about why? Like, if you're Wizards of the Coast, here's a question I have for Wizards of the Coast, for those Magic the Gathering content creators that have been in my comment section bashing the game. Not bashing, anyway. But why? Like, why Wizards? Why would you not give Tolarian Community College a promo for your set? Like, what do you gain? It's so petty. Like, it is such a freaking, like, it costs you nothing to send him a promo to promote your game for free. Like, what do you gain by not doing it? Like, I don't get it. Like, this is where I think Legend Story Studios shines as, like, this is a young company that has a ton of history, a ton of backbone, a ton of knowledge. They have a history in the industry, but they don't have the pride. Like, they don't have the audacity to do something that stupid. And this is like where Magic the Gathering has just left so much room. Like, they've left so much room for frustration as a customer. Like, imagine if you are a fan of the Tolarian Community College. Like, you are a fan of that channel, and you love it, and you watch the videos every day, and you're a fan of Magic the Gathering, and then your content creator doesn't get a promo. Like, that sucks. Like, that feels really, really, really bad as a fan of the game. No, never mind as, a content creator, but it's just so petty and so short-sighted, and it just, like, adds to this list of things that Wizards is doing that just doesn't make any dang sense, honestly. So I love I love the idea that here we're going to have these two content creators, and then the community behind us, like the community underneath, like the other small YouTube channels, and really be able to show the Magic the Gathering community that this is a very, very dynamic game with a company that believes in both the financial side, but also the gameplay side, and a company that believes in good business practices. And so I'm really, really excited to see how the Magic the Gathering community enters into our fold. I think probably a lot of them have heard from Rudy, and they're like, oh, why can't a box be worth $8,000? It doesn't make any sense. It's only been out for a couple of months, or a year, 2 years, whatever. But now they will see the gameplay and the heart behind the game, and it's primed. Like, I gotta say, like, I know I've been kind of teasing some stuff of some stuff that I knew about. This is even more primed now. Like, everything is so primed and ready for explosion. And here's the thing, I have so much confidence that Legend Story Studios is prepared for it. Like, this is one of those things where, like this instance is such a prime example of a company who knows what they're doing and how to handle a game. And there's been plenty of TCGs that have come out in the last 10 years that have failed. And have been decent or good games, too. And most of those TCGs failed not as a result of the game being bad, but the company behind the game not knowing how to interact with the community, not knowing how to make a good game and get content creators and get distribution. Like, a lot of these companies fail as a result of not being a holistic approach, and not having a holistic approach to their business, their organization, their whatever. And LSS has done such a phenomenal job. I have so much confidence in it. And, like, meanwhile, like, you see, like, Magic the Gathering, and it's like, okay, look at all the ways that you're just allowing some stuff to slip. Like, if I'm Wizards of the Coast, like, I'm not trying to be bitter right now. I'm trying to, like, figure out what I'm doing wrong and be humble and try to figure out my crap, because there's so many, it's like this weird paradigm shift in the Magic the Gathering world where it's like, the older class of people is like they're like revolting. They're like upset. And there is new players, but like how long are they gonna be there? So I'm really excited to see what happens with this. I don't know if he's gonna do like content like weekly or whatever. I'm sure it won't be as regular as the Magic the Gathering content. But man, Professor, I'm so glad you're here. And welcome to this world. Like welcome to what I think is the best TCG community ever. And let's just keep doing that, right? Let's just keep being kind to the people around us. Let's be kind to Professor. And let's be kind to all those new Magic the Gathering fans, because remember, some of us were once Magic the Gathering fans too. And here we are.